CRT and total soup secrets, total soup entry models. And no, I'm not talking about the model one, breaker, fair value gap, unicorn, IFG, confirmation models. I'm talking about pure total soup entry models, right? We're not talking about that confirmation models because the confirmation is a huge difference than the total soup. Total soup gives you more RR than the confirmation. The whole thing about entry models are just about the RR. One entry model gives you more RR than the other. And there's no such thing as probabilities that fair value gap is, a low probability of working out but high RR. That's fucking false. Okay. You have to take that out of your mind. It's primarily on the person, right? On the system. Your system is good. There should be no such thing as a fair value gap is more probably higher probability in the total soup model. A fair value gap confirmation is more probability. No, it's false. Right? The market doesn't even move like that. Right? The market's not giving shit about that. That doesn't define if the total soup is low probability. Total soup is the highest probability out of all the concepts. Total soup and CRT are the highest probability concept. If you don't have to know about daily ranges. You don't have to know about discount or premium. If you just primarily trade those, you are set. Right? You don't need nothing else. Yes, you may still fuck up because of time, but if you just spare time with it, you're fucking unstoppable, right? Now you still gotta learn, right? But if you just don't deny the daily ranges, right? Daily ranges are overall still total soups, right? They're still total soup. They're still CRT. They're kind of CRT because they make a range. That market doesn't take out the range high or range low. It just goes to premium or discount of the range. It takes out a daily range low or daily range high. That's all. Now, let's get straight into it. But real quick, before we go any further, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share, join the Telegram, link in the description below, and let's get straight into it. Now, there are multiple entry models. There's the fake double top, fake double bottom total soup. There's the auto block, fair value gap, below an old high or old low total soup. And there's many other models, right? And keep in mind, these models will not always be. These models will not always be in the market. Right? They will not always be the same cycle. The cycle changes. The cycle comes different cycle every time, right? If it was all the same cycle, somebody would catch on. I mean, not me, somebody. Everybody would catch on, right? People are not that dumb, right? People would eventually catch on, like, oh shit, this is what constantly happens. Over and over, so I'm gonna take this, right? If it was like that, everyone would be rich, right? Everybody would have been rich from trading, right? Then there would have been no trading allowed anymore because everybody's making money. Right? There needs to be losers. There needs to be more losers. That's why when you guys look in time, it's not gonna be always week one range, week two manipulation, week three expansion. Sometimes it's gonna be week one expansion, week two expansion, week three expansion, and some sort of retracement, then eventually week four, another expansion, right? It's not always giving the same cycle. That's why you gotta use logic and context. With that saying, on the lower time frame, it will usually be the same type of pattern. The pattern is this: speed to the key level, range, and eventually speed away from the key level, right? Speed to the key level, right? Right over here, tap the key level, range away from the key level. That's all. Right? That's all that's happening all the time. But sometimes this could be a little bit different. It could be straight away speed to the key level and instant reversal, which are luxurious, right? And they're called that for a reason, right? They're very luxurious to happen. Sometimes you can see your auto block getting tapped once, but never getting tapped again. They're very luxurious. Sometimes you can see your top auto block get tapped, and the market stays there for a whole fucking day. Then goes your way. Right? That's a common. That's what usually always happens. But when you see some sort of a luxurious movement, it happens very crazy. That's why cycles change. It's all the same. Everybody make money. That's why total soup is so difficult. People think it's always going to be some sort of, fair value gap tap and go away. No, it's also sometimes it's gonna be something else. Sometimes it's gonna be like a fake double top, fake double bottom total soup. Sometimes it's gonna be something like this, right? Having said that, You already know this, right? Now, having said that, let's get straight into it here. Now, there are multiple total soup entry models. Now, there's not I'm not gonna say this is the first one, this is the second one. There's no order, right? Sometimes maybe this one, sometimes maybe that one. But when the time comes to those entry, you would know it, right? You would know, okay, your mind will naturally just know this will be the one, this will be the one, this will be the one, right? Your mind will not pick in between. You might will not get confused. I don't have to explain that to you, but that will happen to you, all right? Now, these only explain two. Other ones I'll explain the chart because I don't want to fucking do this, drawing thing. I'm not that good with it, right? Because I want to give you guys the actual chart rather than the drawing, right? Drawing, I could draw anything, but does it happen in the market? Does it happen in the market? It doesn't fucking matter. But these one does happen because this is what I see in the market constantly. And this is what everybody who is very smart and as total soup trader will see in the market. Now, the first entry model is a fake double bottom, fake double top total soup. Now, you probably wonder, like, isn't it supposed to be like equal? Aren't you part of, you are probably wondering, like, fake double bottom, fake double top. What the fuck is that? Right? You guys probably heard of it. You guys heard of the double bottom, double top, right? About the when a fake double top, fake double bottom gets created, what happens? It usually gets saved, right? So it basically gets saved as a liquidity, becomes a resting liquidity, and usually on a later date, out of the here or whatever, later date, that liquidity is going to be taken. But in this case, we're looking for this liquidity to get formed and get souped out instantly, rather than saving this for later on. Usually, any move this move that happens to the upside, this liquidity is going to be saved on a later date. So the later date is going to come back to it, right? But on this specific type of entry model, right, it's going to get souped. And these are entry models, right? And I hope I said that at the start of the video. I likely did because I just forgot. But the first entry model is very simple. It's a fake double top, fake double bottom, total soup. Now, as you guys know, we trade Pacific candles. So these are very important. These are very important. That's why I put this vertical lines, because they're two separate candles. So now what we're looking for is, now for the fake double bottom, fake double top, total soup is very simple. All we're looking for is one thing, right? Our CRT, which is the candle number one, right? It's 159, 159, right? Simple as that. This could be 591. It's usually never going to be 591. This one could be 591, or this could be 59. It could be 1, 5, whatever, right? We're just looking two specific other candles on the high probability time, which is 591, right? Those numbers. Now, the first candle of the 4-hour time frame, as you guys know, we trade Pacific 4-hour time frame. We do not want to trade any other candle than the 4-hour and the hourly time frame, all right? Because the 15-minute time frame, we're not trading 15-minute candle. We're trading as a model, just to long it up, just to execute, right? But the 4 a.m., 1 a.m., the 4 a.m. candle, the 4-hour time frame candle, the 1-hour time frame candle is our CRT, is our candle that we trade. So our first candle ranges. A second candle ranges again, but it has some sort of equal high, equal low. Now, the equal high could have SMT, or it could tap duration block. Now, this fools a lot of people. Only like, it doesn't fool nobody. It fools a lot of fucking people, because what does it actually say? A fake double, a SMT with this high and this, when it has SMT with this low, or it has a tap duration block, that low is not meant to get contested. So what happens to it? It gets contested. So that's what it's called, a fake double top, fake double bottom, because dumb money are longing it up, because if this low is not going to get taken out, it's some sort of SMT, it's a duration block, so this low is not going to be taken out, so I'm locking it up. That's what we call this, a fake double top, fake double bottom total soup. This is actually Romeo's favorite type of total soup candidate. These are all our total soup candidate. They all vary. A high probability one is usually going to be this specific one we're going to talk about, right? These are the high probability ones. But enough of that. You can see over here, this is the first entry model. Now, this is why we call it fake double top, fake double bottom. Now, what happens with this? So ICT traders, head and shoulder traders, all these charter traders, they think this is head and shoulders, this is SMT with this low. ICT traders, pattern traders think, okay, This low is not going to be taken out because there's some sort of SMT with it. So they don't expect this low to be taken out. So they long it up. So it makes a lot of liquidity here. Now it's not only ICT traders, not only head and shoulder traders. There's millions, possibly billions, possibly trillions, not trillions, but billions, because there's usually 1 billion in the market going in the market every day. 1 billion taken out. Sometimes it may go to 2 billion, 3 billion, 4 billion, no, trillion, I mean, not fucking billion. Trillions of dollars going in the market every single day, right? So a lot of people are getting stopped out. Not just ICT, this, that, a lot of people, right? So a lot of people are longing this up. So market, as we call fake double bottom, people think it's the bottom, market gonna go up in the lower anymore because it's low right here. Market just out of nowhere to reflect out of it. So people think they're gonna go down lower anymore. That's how they fuck you up. That's how they fuck you up. So they long it up. ICT traders, everybody traders up, long it up. So the market comes back down, stops them out, then goes up higher, right? This is why it's called a fake double top, fake double bottom, total soup. Now people were like, what if sometimes the market gives me a setup on the 5 a.m. candle that has SMT? Now that's why you gotta look for validating your setups, right? Just because it's SMT doesn't validate the setup. You look for the lower time frame model there that could potentially validate your setup. The right model one, the close above, close below. It can't be a wick above or wick below. You can't close in a wick. You have to close in a full candle closure, right? Those validate your setup to whether if this low will get contested or not. Now, more simple. First candle ranges. Now we're looking for the first candle. We're not looking for, some people mistake this to think, okay, we got to fake double top, because usually sometimes before it goes up, all it makes a high, it will usually go like this, right? You usually make the low, make another low right over here. People think that's a fake double bottom. No, that is not, because that when he made that low was made from a specific candle. It was made from the same candle, right? It was made from the same 1 a.m. candle. It wasn't made from a different candle. It was made from the same candle, but it was made in a lower time frame. So the lower time frame, so we're looking for 4 hours to 15 minutes. So the 15 minute time frame is on a low, and that low is not a fake double bottom, by the way, because it was made from the same 4 hour candle using time for alignment, right? So that low is not a fake double bottom, right? It's not a double bottom. Why is it not? Because it's from the same 4 hour candle, right? If you have the second candle, if you have it from here, okay, now you can say, okay, that right there is a fake double bottom, because we're looking for important specific highs and lows, right? So then the next 4 hour candle ranges, it could also be the next hourly candle. It ranges inside of the first candle. It could soup out the high. Also, by the way, it could soup out the high. But what are we looking for? Even if you soup out the high here, all we're looking for, we're still valid, by the way. All we're looking for is it to not get disrespected. So we're still looking for the range to get respected. We don't care if it soups it out or not, because when it soups it out, now this high, wherever makes a high above it, is gonna be a high. But all we're looking for is this range to not get broken. We're looking for the range to stay still and respect the range to come back down lower, so the low go up higher, right? So when this candle closes, the next candle, this is what we're looking for setups here now, right? So the next candle comes around, we have a fake double bottom. You could either tap the threshold, right? This candle, the 5 a.m. candle, could either tap the 1 a.m. candle, resistance block, or have SMT with it. Once it does either of those, all we're looking for is the 9 a.m. candle. We go down lower, soup out both, right? And relatively the same candle. When we start the first candle, we want to look for a soup on 2 consecutive candles max, because when he soups out a candle, there's supposed to be volume in there, right? When there's no volume in the candle, we could determine it to be a low probability. You determine it to be a low probability, you're not gonna take a setup. You could determine it to be, you could use that as a invalidation. You could use that to okay, I'm not gonna trade because market didn't soup it out too hard. So when it soups it out, you're looking for volume, right? So looking for 2 candles max to push it out the low, push it out. Now you can see how I marked out over here. As I said before, we're looking for speed to the key level, range, and speed away from the key level. Sometimes it may speed to the key level, and this pattern right over here is at a lower time. So let's say we go from 4 hours to 15 minutes. So once the key level gets tapped in a 15 minute time frame, we're looking for 15 minutes to 1 minute, right? So 1 minute time frame, you're looking for some sort of this reaction. You're looking for speed, looking for the key level, right? The 1 minute time frame, looking for what? Range in the 1 minute time frame. You're looking for a speed of a total soup, right? That's what I said. That's what you can see I put that little low down there to get souped. Sometimes keep in mind it could soup out this low and go up higher, or it could soup out this low to go up high. Usually, sometimes you will not take this low out. Sometimes you will. That's why I put this low down here, right? Because sometimes you could take it out, but the way you know you take it out or not, if the market is relatively near this low or not. If it's not near the market, if the market is not near this low, and the market needs to do a quick to the soup, we take out this low and go up high without taking out this other low, right? So that's why you have to enter that total soup that's near the market. Eventually, the 1 minute time frame you expand away. So in a 5 minute time frame, it will look just like this, right? A soup and a V-shaped reaction, right? It will not be soup in consolidation. It will be a soup V-shape, right? In a higher time frame, in a 15-minute time frame, this will look like, right? Now, keep in mind, I will show you guys chart examples. I'll show you guys only one example because I'll show you guys so many examples already in the market from other videos. Now, if you guys also keep in mind, if these lows are not valid lows, you're looking for a repurchase. So if this low right over here is not a valid low, what you're looking for is very simple. Looking for that low to get, so we have the low, right? You're looking for this low to get souped. Once it gets souped, we're looking for a valid low to get formed and project the valid low. Then you look for the entry model, right? Then you're looking for that, speed, key level, range, total soup, etc., and speed away from the key level, right? That's what we're looking for. That's only when there's not a valid low. When there's not a valid low, you're looking for total soup of the valid. We're looking for the soup of the low. We're looking for the valid low to get formed, and eventually we're looking for that valid low to get soup again. Then look for a trade. That's why sometimes you guys see a reaction like this. Soup up the low, or see the soups up. So he soups out at a key level, right? But when he soups out at a key level, it makes some sort of reaction like this. So he makes it like a W-shaped reaction, right? This is how you know for a W-shaped reaction. Is when the low of this candle is not a valid low. If you guys don't know what's valid low, just go watch my previous videos. I made a lot of videos about it because valid lows determine if there's enough liquidity for the market to react out of it. If it's not, so market will make a new low, get new down money, and soup all them out, then eventually moving your way, right? So you cause some sort of a W-shaped reaction. So as you guys know, market will always do a V-shaped reaction or a W-shaped reaction. You can also do a multiple tap reaction, but the multiple tap reaction are low probability. Now, so you can see this knowledge is crazy, but that's the first entry model, right? And eventually, how can you enter this? After you soups it out, you can enter when you see some sort of range and lower time frame. Look for a quick total soup. I already told you a model here. I already told you the entry model. Soup of it. That's neither the market moment time frame. Soup of it. Enter it, or if you want to go for a safer route, you can wait for a breaker at the high that broke a low right over here and enter on a breaker. Boom. Goes up higher, but that could vary your how much you're going to make or not, right? So next entry model is very simple. Also, we're looking for order block / fair value gap above an old high or old low. Sometimes I'm telling you guys, you're going to face it. Sometimes the order blocks and fair value gaps are going to be paired. As you guys know, what is a high probability order block? Soups it, right? If an order block soups out of liquidity. And if the order block soups out liquidity, leaves a fair value gap as considered to be a high probability. So sometimes you can see like that. When you see like that, just enter in a order block. But we don't see that, just enter in the order block itself or the fair value gap itself. Right? Now, I'm telling you guys this. Please be careful because if you enter the fair value gap, you can get stopped out and markets at the order block and go away from you and go in your direction. Right? So you can see. You guys can't digest this like out of way. So you just make sure you guys watch this video over and over and over and over and over and over to get this down. But before we go any further, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share if you haven't. So, and make sure you guys join the Telegram list down below and let's get straight into the video even more further. Now, the next model is very simple. We're looking for the same thing here. We're looking to trade Pacific candles again. All right, always Pacific candles. This could be the 5 a.m. candle. This could be the 1 a.m. candle. This could be not the diamond candle because we don't trade the 1 p.m. candle. Right, this could be the 1 a.m. candle, the 5 a.m. candle. Or we're looking for, this could be the HJ candle if you trade London, right? Looking for the candle to get created. So safety high, safety low. Now, people want to like, what about the key level? We don't talk about key level. And I already told you guys the answer to it. Answer to it is very simple. The key level in a ranging market is always there. So you have to look for a key level in a ranging market. In a ranging market, your key level, this is not a key level, but this is the third sub entry model, right? Your key level is going to be CRT in a ranging market because there's already so much key level. There's a breaker, there's the left side, there's an IVG, etc., right? On a trending market, then you look for, in a trending market, when the market constantly going up or down, then you look for a key level. Right? And the market's going to constantly all-time high, then you're looking for a key level. But in a ranging market, there's so many key levels, you don't have to bother looking for a key level. Your key level is going to be primarily your CRT, right? Then you look for entry model, etc., etc. Now, you just your CRT, and if it's a, let's say it's a ranging, let's say it's a trending model, and have some sort of a key level also. So once the key level gets tapped, then you're looking for a self-entry model. But this right here doesn't matter. So what matters first is your, let's say in a trading market, is our CRT, super CRT low, but the key level is down here. Wait for the key level to get tapped. Then you look for the specific entry model. Then this right here is relevant, right? Now, for this specific entry model for a total soup, and keep in mind, as I said before, this does not require any confirmation. You're not waiting for a breaker in a higher time frame, right? You're not waiting for a breaker on the 15-minute time for 5-minute time frame. You're not waiting for a breaker on a 30-minute time frame. You're specifically looking for entries on a 1-minute time frame, quick total soup, or you're just looking to enter out of it instantly without waiting for the confirmation, without waiting for the model 1 here, right? So that could also happen. Now, and keep in mind, on when I talk about this one, I talk about the V shape primarily, because on the fake double top, fake double bottom, they're usually not going to be a range, right? In the higher time frame, it's not gonna be a range. On a lower time frame, it's gonna be a range in a 1-minute time frame. But in a 15-minute time frame, 5-minute time frame, it's gonna be a range, right? So keep that in mind. Now, this one will cause some time. Well, this one will have multiple type of reaction. You could have an M shape, you could have a V shape, etc., right? In this case, you have a CRT. This candle goes up, opens up, first out CRT low, and a CRT low. If it doesn't have a valid low, you're looking for that specific, pattern I told you. You're looking for that V shape, right? So looking for that valid to get formed, and looking for a valid to get pressed again. Then looking for entry model. So if this low or this highs don't have a valid high or valid low, right? I've already made a video on that, so you can check it out yourself. And also on this specific thing here. Now, once we have that, let's say we have a valid low here. Now, all we're looking for at the other, looking for the left side of the market. So let's say we're here. Let's say we're trading here. We're looking around here for that specific entry model. Now, for this entry model, looking for below an old low or old high. The old low could be the CRT low. The old low could also be a low right above the key level, right? The old low could also be, after it soups it out, makes a valid, let's say it's not a valid low, so the soups out the not valid low, right? It makes a valid low here. The low could also be this newly formed low. Keep that in mind. And once this old low gets souped, you're looking for a purge of that old low, and you're looking for it to tap the key level in 2 maximum candles. You're not looking for a multiple consecutive candle to get tapped for it to get tapped the key level. Look, when you're looking for a total soup, you need to be quick, right? So you will need to tap it in 2 consecutive mass candles. Usually 2 is enough to call a total soup, right? Now, once you have that, all you're looking for is you're looking for a order block to get tapped, or a fair value gap to get it tapped. Now, for the order block, there's multiple type of order block. The order block you're looking for the specific type of entry total soup model is looking for a order block that purges liquidity, and you're looking for the first candle. You're looking for the candle that souped out the old low. And sometimes they may be consecutive order blocks, right? It may be consecutive bearish candles, but the only one you care about is the one that souped it out, right? Because this is the mechanic of this total soup. But when you're looking for a confirmation, right? When you're looking for the confirmation for the model 1, it's not going to be something like that. It's not going to be like that because market will not tell the first consecutive candle, right? You just go away without tapping it. So this is a little bit different, right? It's a total soup entry model. Keep in mind, on everything I said here, right? People want to like, this is a fucking order block entry. This is a fair gap entry. No, it's not. The reason why it's not is it's different than the normal entry for fair gap and the total soup. It's different than a normal order block or fair gap entry, because this one requires liquidity pool. A liquidity pool is the old high or old low. Now, once the old low gets created, anything above the old low are liquidity pools. The more the candle range, the better, right? So it's different than a fair value gap. This fair value gap get tapped without there being a old low or old high liquidity pool, right? Simple as that. Now, that's the entry model. Simple as that. And now, down here, when he taps a key level, he could do two types of reaction. He could do a V shape, right? So tap instantly, go away. Or he could tap it, go up, not enough. His market needs to go down lower. So this low right over here that created it, let's go get souped out one again, and then go up, right? So basically a W shape. Now, there's multiple ways to determine a W shape if it's not a very high, very low, which I just talked about already. And also that I just told you guys. And sometimes you could just do tap the V shape, tap the key level, go up away. And sometimes it does this, it's not enough, it goes up lower, boom, goes up higher. Sometimes it's going to be a V shape, go up higher, but overall it's not enough, so you're gonna come back down without taking a slow, right? It's like this. Now let's get straight into the chart. These are the only entry models that I use for a total soup, and there is a third drive which I didn't talk about. But like, why do you not talk about third drive? It's spoken about so much on YouTube. It's spoken about so much on Twitter. X. Some people talk about this. Romeo talk about this. Why do I not trade it? It's difficult. It's not difficult. Oh no, that's the bullshit that I said. It's not difficult. I said the wrong word. It's confusing to trade. So you want something that's simple, and that's something that can actually make you money. Something that's something that doesn't require to, keep on questioning. When you second guess, you fucked up, right? So you look for a simple, and this is the simplest model. Going on like, why you're not trading the fill swing? The fill swing is a total model. With that, I have a problem, right? Because sometimes the higher or the low doesn't get souped again. So the fill swing could tap the CRT range again. Right? It could tap the control point of a CRT. But to me, that's very low probability. I don't count it on that. I primarily trade these because that to me is considered to be low probability. Yes, it will usually always happen, right? This right here is considered to be a fill swing, right? But where the fuck is CRT, right? There's no point of control here, so I don't count this as any way of being a fill swing. Yes, it still does a pattern, but it doesn't. This low, when it does a fill swing, it never taps any point of control. So I don't know. It's something that's difficult. It's something that's not difficult. You're confusing it, right? Something that's confusing to trade. As you guys know, we trade something that's simple and easy. Now let's get straight into the chart. Let's stop wasting any time. It's 27 minutes long already. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Now let's get straight into it, right? So over here in the chart, right? So I'm showing you only one example, and let's get into it. Our first example is going to be this. Now I told you guys what the machine does. In this case, this was the M shape paired with the V shape. The V, it was both. Okay, it was a V shape, also a M shape, but the M shape never took out as low. So yes, you could say, well, what if the other pair had SMT here? Let's check if we had SMT. Yeah, SMT. All right, so this is considered to be M shape, but if I'm entering this total soup, right? Let me take this out. I don't like the bar replay. So if we're entering here, right? Going for like some sort of, let's say M shape, this low number got souped, so I could have not participated, right? If I'm looking for SMT with this low, okay, this SMT, how am I supposed to enter the trade? I don't have to enter the SMT trade. Go for a 1 minute model 1, but it's gonna mess up my RR. Right? Now I have to have a wider stop loss. Now that SMT could constantly get stopped out, right? So it's very confusing. That's a way for the simplest. That's a way for the first tap to get entered. That's where we entered the first tap. Now the first entry model said this is gonna be for value gap. Just order block, no higher or low. Now look to the left. What do you see? Yeah, I see if your value gap below an old low. Old low. I see for value gap below old low. Okay, change your first entry model. Now what else do you see? Going based on this. Have you dunk? Okay, you have dunk. All right. What's the answer? It's the order block. I told you guys these could pair up because what is a high probability order block? When he soups out the liquidity, plus he leaves it for a right gap. So it's a high probability order block. When he leaves it for a right gap, usually the order block will get tapped. very good entry on it. And also, sometimes it might be fair value gap without an order block. Just enter the fair value gap. Sometimes it may be an order block without the fair value gap. Just enter the order block, right? But when it's paired, enter an order block because usually considered to be high probability. Now, you can see right over here. Now, if you are smart, you would have entered this, right? But if you are like, you know, just a basic person, you've entered this. Long this up and go up higher. Cool, nice. But you could have made much more on this. That's why you got to be asked to do it. I already told you guys outside the video. If you guys be real with yourself, you guys didn't answer this question right, and you got some work to do. All right. So now this order block presents liquidity, and it didn't get tapped. Now when we're looking for the order block, the low or high or low, we don't want the order block to get contested. Okay, the order block when it goes up here, it cannot be contested, right? It cannot be contested, right? So that's all. Because we want that when the market puts out the old low, we want the order to get tapped. So because the order block now already has resting liquidity, but when it does get contested before the total soup, usually there's no lifting orders because the orders already got taken out, right? So that's why. Now this your entry model. You can see you got tap to the tick to the pip. Now keep in mind, right when it taps it, no matter what the market price point is, you enter the total soup because total soups are meant to be quick. So you have to be fast and quick. So once it taps, you're gonna enter out of nowhere. You gotta just gonna enter because what's gonna happen is the market leave you out. It's not gonna fuck you around. It's not gonna come back. It's gonna leave you out. All right. So once it taps it, no matter what the market price point is, just enter the trade. I've told you guys already about this multiple times. So that's the first entry model. All right. Now this is not the first one. There are two entry models here, right? Provide a old low, also order block with an old low, and they're paired, right? Makes it even higher probability. So you can see over here. And then in the market price point, you can see how the model one failed here. Model one failed. Very simple. It usually failed. And the total soup is not there because you guys know market goes in order of total soup, confirmation, breakers, whatever, then goes, right? But the total soup is not there. The confirmation doesn't fucking matter, right? Because the total soup wasn't there. It goes in order, right? So you tapped, goes up higher. And what type of reaction? Now, when the order block is tapped, right? When the kilo gets tapped, please pay attention to the price action. What the market does. What does it do? M shape, V shape. Why? Because you need a near future. Near future, you can enter here. You stop loss like right below low without getting stopped out, right? So this helps you on your longer term play. When you go on the longer term, it will help you out on tighter invalidation with tighter stop losses, right? So it's overall better, beneficial in the longer term. But please focus on that also. That's what I'm focusing on right now. And sometimes I may get lost, but we'll get in track. And my main goal right now is to, after I trade, I like to pay attention to the market price action. What type of reaction does it does, and use that as a benefit from it in a longer term. Market precise stop losses, etc., etc. Now, essentially, first entry model, what the reaction does it do? It does a M-shaped reaction. It has a is low. So, but if you miss this out, you probably like, oh, market's come down lower. Market's not gonna come down lower, right? It just went up without having the order block back, right? And as I told you guys before, if you pay attention to the video quick, I told you guys that the order block, looking for the first you're looking for the candle that's souped out. We're not looking for the consecutive candles. When looking for the confirmation, you're looking for the consecutive candles also. But for the total model, you're looking for the candle that's souped out, right? That souped it out, right? I'll show you guys more examples. Let's see if my intuition could find out. It's not gonna be anywhere near here. Oh, it's got to be back. It's not gonna be here. This is the model one confirmation only. This is also an M shape. See, M shape. If you go back, let me see. Because I know I've found multiple examples here yesterday, man. The back testing so much. Hold up. This right over here. Where was it at? What's this one, right? Right over here. Oops. This right over here was a fair value gap. Right over here, fair value gap. Below an old low. You can see that this old low got souped out, but when he souped out the old low, it didn't have enough liquidity. And guess what? This is our CRT, right? The 8 AM candles are CRT. The can't see the low. It's not a bad low. Some market press it out. It's not a bad low. We need to form a bad low. Once he forms out the bad low, then we're looking for the value to get souped. Now this bad low is the old low below. The fair value gap is below an old low, which is a bad low. Press it out in two consecutive candle max. Tap saying goes away, right? Because see, this case, this was some sort of a V shape, right? It wasn't some sort of consolidation. The V shape. In the lower time frame, you can see some sort of an M shape, right? But in the higher time frame based right visual right over here, you can see some sort of a V shape instead of a M shape, right? The lower time frame definitely a M shape, but in the higher time frame is a V shape. Now let me show you guys more example. Let me see if I got more examples here for you. I'm over here. Was it this one? No, I gotta see the right one. Right here. Fair value gap below an old low. Swoops it out. These are here that took. These are the trades I specifically myself took. Fair value gap below low. Gets tapped. Goes up away. Now look at the reaction. See this when he swoops out the old low, you can see how fast he taps the ski level, right? In 2 consecutive max. Now look at the reaction of this. M shape, right? M shape goes up higher. Now, to determine if it is gonna do an M shape or not, it's gonna be difficult. You don't know if it will do it. All you can do is enter your setup, right? That's all you can do. That's all, right? But you probably wonder, like, on this specific trade, why did I not scale down in a 1 minute time frame? The only time you scale down in a 1 minute time frame is on the fake double top, fake double bottom, total soup. Which we're going to talk about it a little bit. Give me 1 second. Now let me show you guys one more example, which is a beautiful example, which is about the order block. It was right over here, right? You should be somewhere over here. Now this one over here is a fair value gap also. Fair value gap below the old low. Now if you go mark it out. Standing center to the right. To the right. See when he gets tapped here. The value of an old low, swoops it out. And the old low is that low that we see over there. There's the old low. That was your old low. You can see M shape. Boom. And over here. Now this case, the old low, the fair value of old low already got tapped, so it's no longer valid. So now I'm looking for this one. Taps the fair value of old low. Old low's right over here. Taps it up higher. Now you can see the model 1 failed. The 1 failed. Why did it fail? Because there was a what? There was a what? There was a what? A motherfucking soup entry, right? That's the problem with the model 1 entries, right? They fail sometimes, right? They fail. Now, if you pay attention very closely over here, the fair value gap does have a valid low, but that's a problem with confirmation. As I said it before, first it comes first, then it comes the model 1 confirmation, then it comes this breaker or CSD, whatever you're gonna look for. But the total is not there. The breaker, the fair value, model 1 will not work out, right? So that's what we gotta focus on that specifically. So now going back here, let me show you guys more examples. One more example I would show you guys is this before we move on to the last example, because I gotta go on with my day here. Which would be let me see. It would have been some day over here. It was some sort of reaction to a swoop. Where was the fuck the day was it? Right over here, right? No way it was. Nope. Order block got contested and never got tapped. We would have been back here, pretty sure back here. Yeah, back here. See, these are the trades I took. This one I didn't take because I I didn't trade this day specifically because I had some sort of rule, but you know what I'm saying, things happen. So in this case, you can see what happened was very simple, right? Above this old high, we had a fair value gap, and you enter this fair value gap, right? We then enter this fair value gap right over here. You think is all sunshine and rainbow, but market goes up higher and goes down lower. Although you didn't get stopped out from this fair value gap, but you make less money. Now, how could you capitalize on this? You should have entered on the auto block. As I told you guys before, when the market is paired with when the auto block is paired with fair value gap, what makes that high probably an auto block? When it's paired with fair value gap and present liquidity, and it's paired with fair value gap. Now, our first entry model was already there, and the fair value gap before the old high. So regardless, both of them could have made you money, but one of them could have been safer plus made you more. Right? Now, entered here on the auto block itself. This is the auto block entry model. I already showed you guys the auto block entry model. Right? This the first example I showed you guys was the auto block entry model paired. Right? They were both paired. Right? It's because they're also paired. Sometimes it will be auto block itself and not paired. Something before regular itself and not paired. Now, if you go back in time. For example, what we showed you here, right over here. Auto block. You enter here. You want to enter here or you want to enter here? Which one's better entry? Which one sounds better? This one, obviously, right? Now, that's that. And let me show you guys one last example about the fake double top, fake double bottom, total soup. I have to use my hourly time frame on this one because I forgot where the market was on this. It wasn't anywhere there. It was somewhere around here, right? It was before the big dump. Yep, right over here. Found it. Could have been here. Where was it at? 1 second, chat. It was before that big dump we had. Was it this one? Yep, it was this one right over here. Now this one failed because this one is an example, but it failed though because you can see it got stopped out. You did go in your way in a little bit. If you're like a scalper when your way, you would have won. But in my trading style, you would have failed because this one I should have not traded because you never dump it on the old low in a daily time frame. But going down here, time-based dumps, not fucking price-based, right? Keep that in mind. You can see right over here. Our CRT is range. You can see it puts out the high here, right? It puts out the high, but guess what? At the end of the day, it respected the high. Range high. This is our CRT. Second candle, puts out the range high, but it's still respected, but it doesn't present the range low because we're bullish here, right? So it leaves out a bullish SMT with a tap on the resistance block. So on the lower time frame, it also taps the resistance block, and I don't know why it isn't showing it here, but it did tap the resistance block here. It should be yeah, you can see right before the candle closed. That shit. Yeah, it has. I think pretty sure that day. I don't know if he had SMT or not. I think yeah, he did have SMT. If it goes up here right now. Yep, he did have SMT here. Yep, he did have SMT. Yes, sir. Okay, he had SMT. I was like, okay, it's fucking weird. Intelligent block was tweaking out. Okay, SMT that time. It didn't tap the resistance block, but guess what? It had SMT, so it's still relatively valid. You just need one of them, right? You just need one of them to determine a fake double bottom. Now, guess what? What do we have here? We have a fake double bottom. Everything's still respected. Bridge that fake double bottom low. And guess what? What variation is this? This is a V-shaped reaction, right? A V-shaped reaction. Boom, boom. But like market didn't fuck this. But we're like, well, this is some sort of a speed to the key level, range and a speed away from the key level. Yes, that is also right. Now, but when you speed to the key level, tap the key level, when you range, it never presses out any low. Right? Never presses out any low when he did, range. So it's considered to be a V-shape. It's not always gonna be perfect, a V-shape reaction, but it's relatively a V-shaped reaction because if it was to be M-shaped, this low needs to get contested again before going up higher, right? So it's a V-shaped reaction, and 1 minute time frame. All you're looking for is that quick little breaker entry. Your breaker entry would have been this, which was the high that broke out the low. Boom, 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 boom. Your breakers are multiple things here. You could call this as your breaker, right? This is the high that breaks out the low. This is your breaker. Out your breaker, right? Oh my goodness. Right, that's a breaker. Enter on the body. Long it up. Stop loss. It's not going to be right on a breaker low. It's going to be on the low because the 1 minute time. It's just a small stop loss, right? You're going to put it below this low. Plus add some pips. All right. Just to cover spread. And you long it up. And you are profitable, right? You can see. Now you can see how the market tapped this specific breaker here. You can see how you tapped this specific breaker. No, there was no drawdown. Market comes back down, right? Taps the breaker again. Now then eventually goes up higher, right? See, this is, you keep on wondering like this multiple controversy. People say this is the real breaker, but in my eyes, is the real breaker. You can see the breaker gets, you can test it here, right? But it never gets broken. You can see the market, and either you can see some sort of disrespect, but it never closed below the breaker low 2 times, right? It probably souped it out, but it never closed below it 2 consecutive candles. So still respected. You're going for a 5.7 RR, boom, profitable, right? Now, if you were to hold a very high time frame, like hold at a weekly CRT high, it would have failed because there was no time-based CRT there. There was no time-based dumping low, so it failed. Now, this is the entry models here, right? In this case, this was a what? In the higher time frame was a V-shape. In the lower time frame, this is also a V-shape. If you go down to even lower time frame, if you go back down here again, that should be okay. So this one also didn't press it out. This was some sort of V-shape also, right? Because see, you could have had multiple ways to enter this trade. First entry model could have been the breaker confirmation, right? It's a little bit more safer, and it's a little bit more higher probability in my eyes. Or you could have waited for that expansion to the key level range, sort of to that range low. Whoa, what the fuck? Yeah, this is the, what the fuck? Total different candles here, right? You can see you gotta wait for the expansion range total soup of a closest low or high for duration block. Usually a duration block would be this of this low, right? But in this case, since the market's not near it, you would soup out the low right over here, then go up higher. But something duration block can go away. Duration block can be sort of soups also. But that will be the dominant hydro low, which is the case of this. If you were to enter this low, higher, you would have made much RR. But in my eyes, breakers are higher probability. If you're a beginner, trade breaker, right? If you're not a beginner, you could trade this, make even more money, right? So this entry model it happens rarely, but when it does happen, it's very high probability. And Romeo trades this all the time. Romeo trades this all the fucking time. And the pattern you're looking for is this, right? I already told you guys. Looking for this pattern, fake the bottom, fake the bottom, fake the bottom, fake the top. Looking for a soup of it. Is the higher type can be a V shape, and lower type can be some sort of an M shape. You can see, I told you guys, soup it out. Goes up higher. It ranges a little bit. Soup the range, soup outside the low, and goes away, right? That's the entry models. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share. Join the Telegram channel below, and I will see you guys later. I hope you guys enjoyed this. It took me like a whole hour here, and it's worth it. Now, this is all you need. Just use this. There's all the entry models you need. You don't need the fucking failure swing with low probability. Fucking is confusing as fuck. Third drive are confusing as fuck. Don't trade that shit. It's fucking bullshit. I traded one time. I got fucking raped. Right? I got raped. I'm not gonna lie to you. But yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, share. Join the Telegram below, and I'll see you guys later. Free content. You guys said it. There's a lot of people in the Telegram told me like, "Yo, upload it." And there's some reaction on it. And so I was like, okay, let me just do diligent. Let me help you guys out. This is how I take my trade. And I'm not making you guys pay at all. The only thing I will say, do me a favor. Just do me a favor, all right? Pray for me, all right? Just, so I can go to heaven, that's all we want at the end. At the end of the day, that's all the fuck I want. Is heaven. I want to go to heaven. I want to go to Jannah. Hopefully you do too. And pray for me in your prayer. See you guys later. Peace out.